Okay, we're gonna start standing today. So come to your mat, come to the top of your mat, and we're gonna find Tadasana. So feet hip width apart. Okay, spread out your toes. So lift your toes, spread them wide, and then place them back down one at a time, trying to maintain a little space between the toes. And then knees stack over ankles, hips stack over knees, shoulders stack over hips. And we're gonna reach up to the crown of the head as the shoulder blades draw back and down. And then we're gonna bring our hands into Hansi Mudra, or the Mudra of Inner Smile. So bring all your fingers to touch, fingertips to touch, except for the pinky finger. And then just bring the elbows in by your ribs, turn the palms up in this Hansi Mudra, and close your eyes. And I want you to think of something that makes you smile. Could be something simple, such as the smell of a flower or hot coffee in the morning. Could be someone you love. Could be absolutely anything. Maybe just this breath in this moment makes you smile. And maybe you actually do smile. And maybe you notice when you think of these things that make you smile, or when you actually do smile, maybe it changes the quality of the breath a little bit. For me, my breath becomes a little more expansive and calm. So we're going to practice this morning with joy. It's going to be a happy celebratory yoga practice. Maybe we get to take that off our mat a little bit. Something we can kind of reach back to when things get a little crazy around us. Always finding something to smile about. Good. And then with your next inhale, just allow the hands to relax alongside the body. You can gently open your eyes, keep the palms facing forward, and stay really grounded in the feet. We're going to start to connect some movement with our breath. Okay? So on your inhale, we're going to turn the palms up towards the sky. Take your gaze up towards the sky, shoulders drawing back, so slight back bend. And then as you exhale, you're going to bend the knees just a little bit, turn the palms towards the body and then back as you tuck the chin and round the back slightly. And then inhale again, opening through the front body, turning the palms up towards the sky, maybe back behind. And exhale, turning the palms in and back as you start to round, bend the knees slightly, tuck your chin. And then just continue opening and expanding with your inhale and kind of turning inward with the exhale. And with each breath, allowing the movement to get a little bit bigger. Finding a bigger back bend with each breath in and folding forward a little deeper with each breath out. And we'll complete one more round. And we'll pause the next time that we're opening towards the sky. So just hold here for a moment with the arms really spread out wide, the heart wide open, gazing up at the sky in a really celebratory stance. And then with your next inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, gently bend the knees, bring the hands through heart center and find a forward fold. And then as you inhale, we're gonna find a half lift. So press into the feet, lift halfway, bring the torso parallel to the ground, lengthening the spine, and then exhale, fold again, bending the knees a little bit. We're gonna do that twice more. Inhale, curl in and up halfway, find length, exhale, fold. And one more time, inhale, press into the feet, find a half lift and lengthen, and exhale, fold. Okay, with your next inhale, press into the feet, slowly curl up to standing. Once the shoulders stack over the hips, turn the palms out and reach up towards the sky again. Good. And then we're gonna interlace the fingers except for the pointer fingers here. I'll just step back so you guys could see me. So inhale, press into the feet, reach up towards the sky. And as you exhale, we're gonna reach over to one side, finding a lateral stretch. Keep that top shoulder drawing back. Keep finding more length in both side bodies. And then inhale to center and exhale, reaching over to the other side. Grounding through the feet, lengthening through both side bodies. And then inhale back to center. Good. Exhale, open your arms wide. And then we'll return to that forward fold again. This time we'll hang out here in the forward fold for a couple of breaths. You can take any arm variation you'd like. Maybe it just feels good to let the arms hang. Maybe you want to bring arms to ragdoll in the opposite elbow crease. Or you could interlace the hands behind the back to introduce the shoulder stretch. So anything that feels right to you. Knees can be bent or straight. You can be still or you can find movement. Whatever brings you joy, whatever makes your heart smile. And then if your arms aren't already just relaxing towards the floor, go ahead and release the hands. We'll inhale to one more half lift, this time holding for a couple breaths. So again, trying to get your torso parallel to the ground, crown of the head reaching forward, so your gaze is down. Glue the heels of the feet into the mat and pretend to drag them apart slightly. So you'll find that that engages the inner thighs and gives you a little more freedom in that low back. Take one more breath here. As you exhale, maintain the length in the spine and fold forward again. Now bend the knees as much as you need to bring the hands to the mat on either side of the feet. And we're gonna step the left leg back for a lunge. Okay. Right knee should stack over the right ankle. Stay active in that back leg. So pressing out through the heel. Engage the inner thighs like you're scissoring the legs together. Come onto your fingertips or maybe hands on blocks and take your gaze forward slightly. Good. On your next breath in, press into the feet, draw the belly towards your spine and reach your arms up towards the sky for a lunge, crescent lunge. Good. Now on your next exhale, we're gonna bend the back knee, cactus your arm. So getting into a little bit of a quad stretch there. Maybe just bouncing gently a couple of times. Good, and then inhale, straighten that back leg, reach your arms towards the sky. Exhale, bring your hands back to the mat. And we're gonna step front foot back, coming into plank. Shoulders stack over the wrists, fingers are spread wide. You're pressing back through the heels, drawing navel to spine, lengthening from heels to the crown of the head. Take another deep breath in. As you exhale, drop your knees, lower your chest and chin. Keep the elbows hugging the body. And then inhale, release the toes, draw your heart forward and find cobra. Pause here in cobra for a moment. Actively press the tops of the feet into the ground, engage your legs. Pretend to drag the heel of the hands back to draw the heart forward a little more. Elbows hug in, shoulders drop back. Your gaze is down towards the top of your mat. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, release. Push up and back to extended child's pose. Bring your forehead to the mat, hips to heels. Breathe into that low back. Bring your awareness once again to something that makes you smile. Could be the same thing you thought of earlier or something new. We must have a million things that make us smile. On your next inhale, we're going to come up to table. So stack shoulders over wrists, stack hips over knees. On your next breath in, we're going to lift the left leg back, right arm forward, coming into sunbird pose. Draw the navel in. Find a lot of strength in your core to support the low back. And then exhale, return to table. Inhale, lift the right leg, left arm. Exhale, return to table. Inhale to the other side. Exhale, table. Inhale, reach. Exhale, table. Last time, inhale, left leg, right arm. Pause here. Focus on the balance, or if you want to, bend that left knee and maybe reach back, either reaching towards that foot, or if you can, capture it, and then press the foot away from you. So seeing if you can find a little bit of a quad stretch here. So even if you're not holding that foot, if you're drawing the heel towards your glute, you should feel that in the quad. Good. And then inhale, reach through those lifted limbs. Exhale to table. Good. Let's turn that left palm face up, fingers pointing towards your knees, and then just curl the fingers in and spread them out a couple of times to release the wrist. And then just do a couple little wrist circles. And then we'll work our way towards downward facing dog. So the hands come a little bit in front of the shoulders. Again, we spread the fingers really wide. Tuck the toes under, and when you're ready, come into crotchety old dog. Keep the knees deeply bent for the first few breaths. Take the hips side to side. Find some movement. And then when you're ready, easing into your fullest expression of this pose, which might look very different than mine or anyone else's. So maybe your knees stay deeply bent. Maybe the legs are mostly straight. You should have at least a micro bend in the knees at all times. Tailbones lifting up and back. Hands are actively pressing into the mat. And then inhale, gaze forward. On your exhale, draw navel to spine as you step, walk, or float to the top of your mat. Finding another forward fold here. And then inhale to a half lift. Bring the torso parallel to the ground. Turning the inner thighs towards the wall behind you, or maybe it's a tree behind you. And then exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant your hands again, this time stepping the right leg back. Left knee stacks over the ankle, scissoring the inner thighs together. So engage the back leg, press into the feet. Draw your heart forward, come onto your fingertips. And on your next inhale, really press into the seat, draw the navel in, reach up towards the sky for crescent lunge. Draw the shoulders down away from your ears, squeeze the low ribs together. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, cactus the arms and bend that back knee. Okay, so again, getting into that quad. So maybe bouncing gently a couple of times here. And then inhale, reach up as you straighten the back leg. Exhale, bring the hands to the mat. and step back to plank. Pause here. Find your engagement, strong core. Breathe. Take one more breath in. On your exhale, you can lower down knees, chest, chin like we did before, or if you want to come down in chaturanga, shift forward slightly so the shoulders come in front of the wrists. As you exhale, the elbows bend straight back, lower halfway, and then draw the heart forward as you flip onto the tops of your feet. Or if you came all the way down, you can come into cobra. Heart wide open, shoulders back. Exhale, extended child's pose. Hips to heels. Forehead rests on the floor. Find your breath. And again, take the moment to think of something that makes you smile. Ananda is a Sanskrit word that means joy or bliss. On your next inhale, we'll come up to table. Stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. On your next breath in, we're going to lift left arm, right leg for sunbird. Navel draws in. We're lengthening through the lifted limbs, engaging our core. Exhale, return to table. Inhale to the other side. Right arm, left leg. Exhale, table. Inhale. Exhale the table. Couple more rounds. Connecting the movement to the breath. And the next time you lift that left arm and right leg, we'll pause here. You can focus here on the engagement and the balance, or if you want to add a little something, bend that back leg, draw the heel towards the glutes, trying to find a stretch in the quad. Maybe reaching back towards the foot or even capturing the foot. If you can capture the foot, try to keep the foot flexed and hold on to the ankle to protect the knee. And then press the foot away from the body. And inhale, release and extend. Exhale, return to table. Good. We'll stretch the right wrist. So turn your palm face up, right palm face up, fingers pointing towards you. Curl the fingers in and extend them out. Curl them in and extend them out. And then do a couple wrist circles in one direction and then the other. Good. And then bring the hands forward a bit, preparing for down dog. Tuck your toes under, and when you're ready, press the tailbone up and back. Find length in the spine. Maybe you move around a little bit for a couple of breaths before settling in. If ever you feel hot or the breath becomes very labored, you can exhale through the mouth. And it's a nice release and a little bit cooling. And now inhale, take your gaze forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Now bend your knees a lot. Inhale your arms up in front for chair pose. So gaze down at your knees for a moment. Make sure they're not going past your toes. Okay, the hips are drawing back. Engage the inner thighs, sit a little lower. And notice if it seems like you're swaying your back, because I tend to really arch my low back here. And so it's good for me to squeeze the low ribs and tuck my tailbone. Other people might feel more rounded here, in which case think of lifting the tailbone a little bit more. Okay, biceps come alongside the ears unless that's difficult on your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, sweep the arms down and back, folding over the bent legs. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, sweep the arms down and back. Inhale, sweep the arms up, press into the feet, slowly rise all the way to stand. And exhale, hands to heart center. Take a couple of breaths here in Tadasana. On your next inhale, sweep the arms out and up towards the sky. Exhale, open the arms wide, lift through the heart, draw the tailbone down. Find that length in the front body. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward. As you inhale, lift halfway. Find a flat back, and then exhale, fold again. Bend the knees, plant your hands. Let's step the left leg back for a lunge. Now, bring your right hand to the inside of the right foot. Walk your right foot more towards the right edge of your mat. And then drop the back knee. Okay. We're long overdue for a twist. So we're going to bring our right hand to the right knee and just kind of press into that knee as you draw the navel in and open your heart towards that right knee and hand as the shoulders draw back. And then lean the hips forward a little bit so that you feel a hip flexor stretch in the left leg and maybe a little more compression in that inner left thigh. If you want to, you can roll onto the outer edge of the right foot. That gives you a little more inner thigh stretch. You could reach your right arm towards the sky. For me, I feel like I can leverage a little deeper twist if I keep my hand on the knee, but sometimes just that opening feels good. Okay, another option here, if you want to, you could bend that back leg. So getting into the quad again, reaching back for that ankle or heel, and just trying to keep the heart open, keep the hips drawing forward. And then release the foot if you've got it. Bring your right hand back to the mat. Tuck those left toes under if they're not already and lift that back knee. Okay, now drop the back heel and bring your right elbow to your right knee and reach the left arm up towards the sky. So we're opening into this extended side angle pose. For a little deeper stretch, if you want to, or a little more challenge, you could reach your right fingertips to the ground so that the arms are stacked. With your next inhale, we're going to rise up to warrior two. So your back toes should be pointing slightly forward, and you want to really ground into the outer edge of that back foot. Gaze back at your back arm for a second and make sure that it's lifted just as high as the front arm. Sometimes it feels like it's actually way down here. So arms are lifted equally. We're trying to maintain a right angle in that front knee, and we're grounding into the pinky toe edge side of the front foot. Gazing out over your front fingertips. Inhale to reverse warrior. So that front knee stays deeply bent. We're feeling the right ribs lifting up and away from the hip. Good, now inhale, press into the front foot, straighten the front leg for a reverse triangle. With your next exhale, let the right ribs lead the way as you reach forward and come into Trikonasana. Stacking the arms, drawing the shoulders away from the ears, tucking that right hip under. I should start on the other side so you guys can see the front of me. All right, on your next breath in, we're going to reach for the sky, coming into a five-pointed star. So I'm going to turn around for this so you can see me. Okay, so toes are turned out, arms are reaching up. And then exhale to goddess. So the knees bend deeply. Knees are tracking out over the toes. Tailbone is tucked. Low ribs are squeezing in. Arms are in cactus. Now we're going to practice 3 rounds of lion's breath here. So this automatically makes you smile. So if you're not familiar, what we'll do is we're going to inhale and kind of squeeze and contract everything. So scrunch up your face, make this. And then when you exhale, you're going to open the palms wide open, the eyes and the mouth wide, stick your tongue out, and kind of take this really loud exhale like a lion's breath. Okay? So we'll do it together. Inhale. Squeeze everything in tight. Exhale, lion's breath. Inhale. And one more time. Good. Inhale, 5-pointed star, straighten out the legs. On your exhale, turn your toes in, heels out. Bring the arms behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Inhale to lift through the heart, reaching the hands towards the ground behind you. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips and begin to fold forward, letting the hands lift away from the body. Grounding through the outer edges of the feet, engaging the inner thighs, and just letting the head be heavy towards the earth. And then with your next exhale, release the hands to the mat. And you're going to walk your hands around to face the front of your mat, coming into lunge. Okay, so you should still have your right foot forward, left leg back. And then we're going to step the front foot back, coming into plank. So pause here. Think of dropping the hips, but then lifting through the inner thighs and engaging the core. Shoulders draw back towards the hips, squeeze the sits bones together. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, we'll lower down. So your choice, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, and then inhaling to either cobra or up dog. On your exhale, draw the navel in, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Know that you can always come into child's pose instead if you'd like. And then again, think of something that brings a smile to your face. Maybe there's something you've done or you have accomplished that makes you smile. And on your next inhale, gaze forward. As you exhale, we're going to step, walk, or float to the top of the mat, going into a forward fold. And then inhale to a half lift. Find length in the spine. Exhale, fold again, bend the knees, plant your hands, step the right leg back for lunge. All right, let's bring left hand to the inside of the left foot as you heel toe the left foot towards the left edge of your mat. Drop that back knee. Okay, bring your left hand to the left knee and draw the navel in as you open your heart to the left. So finding a twist, keep the hips lunging forward so that you feel the hip flexor stretch, the psoas stretch in that right leg. Gazing up over that left shoulder. If you want to, you can reach the arm towards the sky. Another option here, if you want to bend that back leg, maybe you reach back and capture the foot. So I always encourage you to personalize your practice, modify it to suit your needs, and our needs change from day to day. So I try to offer different modifications But you know your body and what feels right. So I invite you to honor that always. All right, release the foot, bring the hands back to the mat. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee, and drop the back heel. Now you can bring your left elbow to your left knee, okay? And then inhale, reach the right arm towards the sky. So stacking the arms, draw the shoulders away from the ears. A little more advanced version of this, if you choose to take, is to reach the left fingertips to the floor, straightening that left arm, okay? Draw the navel in, ground to the outer edge of that back foot. And on your next inhale, rise up to warrior two. So back toes are pointing slightly forward. You're rooting to the outer edge of the foot, trying to maintain that right angle in the front foot and grounding into the pinky toe edge side of that foot so that that front knee doesn't sickle in. Make sure the back arm is lifted just as high as the front. Gaze out over the front fingertips. And on your next inhale, we'll come into reverse warrior. So reach that left arm up and back. Keep the front knee deeply bent. Feel the stretch in that left side body. And then inhale, straighten the front leg for a reverse triangle. Maybe finding an even deeper lateral stretch in that left side. And on your next exhale, let the left ribs lead the way as you reach forward and then rotate the arms, finding your triangle, Trikonasana. Stacking the shoulders, grounding through the outer edge of the back foot, root through the front big toe mound, tuck that left hip under, open your heart a little more towards the sky. And on your next inhale, reach for the sky, come all the way up to five-pointed star. Toes turn out, arms reach up, and then exhale to another goddess. Okay, so again, knees are opening wide. Try to bring the shoulders to stack over the hips. Our tendency here is to kind of lean forward. So draw the heart back. Root into the outer edges of the feet. And we'll do 3 more rounds of lion's breath. Okay. So deep breath in, squeeze everything in, contract, pucker up your lips, and then exhale, lion's breath. Inhale. And inhale, reach up, five-pointed star. Exhale, turn the toes in, heels out, release the hands behind the back, but interlace the fingers the odd way this time, moving everything over one digit. Inhale, lift the heart, reach the hands towards the ground behind you, finding that back bend. And then exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward as the hands release away from the body, finding that shoulder stretch as well, grounding in the outer edges of the feet, keeping the inner thighs engaged and not locking the knees. On your next exhale, release the hands to the mat, and we're going to walk the hands around to face the front of your mat, coming back to that lunge. And then we'll step back to plank. Pause here, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, we'll bring left knee to the mat or just drop both heels to the left. And then reach your right arm towards the sky for side planks. You may have the knee on the floor. Really advanced version of this might be to lift that right leg. Just try to keep the shoulders stacked over that left wrist, reaching that right side body towards the sky. And then exhale, release back to plank. Pause here and breathe in. Exhale, maybe you drop the right knee to the mat or just drop both heels to the right, reach the left arm towards the sky. Maybe you take the more advanced version, and reach the left leg towards the sky. Try to keep the breath steady, the core engaged, and that left side body lifting. Good. Exhale, back to plank. Pause here again for breath in. Exhale, lower down. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale to well-deserved child's pose. This time, let's take the hands back by the feet. Forehead rest, eyes closed, smile. With your next inhale, start to walk your hands forward again. Hands shoulder width apart. And we'll make our way back into downward facing dog. Pressing the tailbone up and back. Pretend to drag your hands towards one another. So this automatically activates the outer arms and creates some space between your ears and your biceps so that you're broadening through the shoulder blades. And then inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of your mat for forward fold. So now bend your knees a little bit. And on your next inhale, you're going to draw navel to spine, reach the arms out from the shoulders, and we're going to come up with a flat back. And then reach towards the sky, and exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Now, release your hands down by your side. We're going to do this breath of joy, okay? So some of you may be familiar. From Tadasana, what we're going to do is, it's a type of pranayama. So we're going to inhale through the nose 3 times with some arm movements, and then exhale through the mouth into a forward fold with the knees nice and bent, okay? So I'll demonstrate for you first. Okay, so now before you start, just adding another little fun twist to this, I want you to think about something that makes you smile, something that brings you joy. And as you exhale, so we go inhale, 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 exhale, you can, if you choose to, shout out a word that corresponds with something that makes you smile. So just another example, okay? Just watch me for a second. Chocolate. Sex. All right, just a little something to get you guys laughing and in the mood. All right, so we'll all start together. Bring your hand or your feet hip width apart, arms by your side. We'll do 3 rounds, okay? So ready? Inhale, 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 exhale. And then inhale, just reach your arms all the way up towards the sky, and exhale, hands to heart center. So hopefully you shouted out some interesting words that made your family go, what is she doing in there? Hopefully you're smiling. Hopefully they're smiling too. All right, so now her dancer pose. So we've been working towards this with some of those back bends and quad stretches. So this will be easy now, okay? But feel free to come to a wall or a table or something if you want support. And if you have a strap and you choose to, you can use a strap. It's helpful sometimes, okay? But starting with that foundation, so nice spreading of the toes, grounding through the feet, engaging of the core. Find your focal point. And then when you're ready, we're just gonna bend that left knee So drawing the heel towards the glute behind you, okay? So just pausing here. So we're really active. We got to hold this. Okay, now reach back to grab the ankle. And if it's comfortable, if you have the freedom in the shoulder, turn the palm away from you and grab the ankle from the inside of the foot, okay? And then try to keep these knees aligned. Don't let this knee come way forward, way back, or out to the side. So just keeping the thighs parallel. And then inhale, reach your right arm towards the sky. If you're using a wall or a table or something for support, I like to stand in front of it. So as I come forward, I can grab a hold of that support, okay? So when you're ready, as you feel stable, keep that left foot flexed. You're gonna press the foot into the hand as you start to hinge any amount. Again, try not to let that thigh open or the hips open. And you don't have to come very far, okay? Just come as far as is comfortable so that you don't lose that smile. Maybe bring the fingers back into that Hansi Mudra where all the fingertips touch except for the pinky finger. And smile. Good. Inhale, release, and let's just shake it out. In fact, let's do a little Tai Chi spiral or prayer wheel, swinging the arms side to side, lifting the opposite heel, letting the hands just kind of slap you on the back of the shoulders. Like, good job. Good job today with all that smiling. And then slowing down. We'll return to our Tadasana to work the other side. So again, don't move into your balance pose too quick. You're doomed. Okay, so taking a moment to ground, to establish your base. Spread out those toes, engage your core, find your drishti. When you're ready, we're gonna lift the right foot, bring that heel towards your glute, okay? Go ahead and grab a hold of the ankle with the right hand. If it's comfortable to open the shoulder, turn your palm up towards the sky and then capture the ankle from the inside of the foot. Okay, reach your left arm towards the sky. Maybe find your Hansi Mudra or your fingertips touch except for the pinky finger. And then when you're ready, press the foot into the hand away from the body as you start to hinge forward. So again, any amount. Use a support if you need to. Let your breath be your guide. So if your breath gets labored or choppy, maybe you've gone too far. Maybe you need a reset. And then inhale. When you're ready, slowly releasing, shaking it out, and we'll do another prayer wheel. If you feel stable, you can turn your gaze behind you as you spin around. And then we'll start to slow it down. And coming to the mat. All right. So you guys have worked hard. We have not spent much time on the ground. So let's start to make our way there. That probably brings you a little bit of joy, right? All right, starting in Tadasana, just taking a moment, hands at heart center. Inhale, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, open your arms wide, lift the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Take a few breaths in our forward fold. Again, taking any arm variation you'd like. You can move or be still. Again, it's your practice. It's your body. All right, let's heel toe the feet wider apart. Turn your toes out, heels in, and then bend your knees, and we'll come into Malasana squat. So not everybody can get their heels down. Sometimes this can be difficult. So if you're up here, that's fine. You will be working a little bit harder, but that's good. You'll be stronger. Okay, so wherever you are, either way, just trying to find that length in the spine is the most important thing. Good. And then from here, we'll work our way to seated. So you can bring your hands to the mat behind you, come down to your seat. Oh, there's a bee. Okay, extend your legs forward, finding Dandasana, feet hip width apart and feet flexed. Hands alongside the body on the mat. Let's just find a nice, strong, tall staff pose here, reaching the crown of the head towards the sky. Good. On your next inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Hold here as you exhale, drawing the shoulder blades down, again, maintaining this tall spine. And then as you exhale, hinge at the hips, keep reaching out through the arms, keep lengthening the spine for as long as you can, and then you can allow the head to drop and the back to round, and just find a nice, easy forward fold here. Breathing into that low back. With your next inhale, reach long through the arms again, draw the navel in, rise all the way up, reaching towards the sky. And then exhale, release the hands down. We're gonna bring the hands behind us, fingers pointing towards the feet. And then bend the knees and plant the feet on the mat, hip width apart. Inhale, we're gonna lift to reverse table. So we've already warmed up our quads. We've already opened through the front body and stretched the shoulders a bit. So this should be a piece of cake. Ground into the big toe mound. Inhale, lift the hips a little higher. Exhale, release the hips. Bring the arms forward, shoulders back, and lift the feet for boat pose. Good. Now cross the ankles, clasp the hands, and as you exhale, bring left elbow to the mat beside you. Inhale to center. Exhale, take the right elbow to the mat. So working our core. If you need to, you can bring the hands to the floor and take the knees side to side instead. It's a little bit easier. Okay. Just moving side to side with the breath. Come to center, pause, cross the ankles the other way and switch the position of the hands, and we'll continue. Every time you come back to center, lift the heart. Draw navel to spine as you twist from side to side. Good, and then come to center. Release the feet, hug your knees. Tuck your chin, curl into a little ball. Good job. All right, inhale, sit up tall. Bring the feet towards the top of your mat so the toes are kind of just in front of the mat. All right, feet are hip width apart. We're gonna sit up tall. Okay, reach the arms forward. Not quite another boat, so don't worry, but we are still working the core. So exhale, lean back about halfway. Now see if you can extend one leg forward. Keep the thighs parallel, keep your heart lifted, shoulders drawing back. And let's point and flex that foot. And then do some ankle circles. And reverse the direction. And then release the foot down, grab a hold of the knees, sit up tall, smile, because it's over for a moment. And then keep smiling as we come back to it. All right, so leaning back, again, lift through the heart, reach the arms forward, and then we're gonna extend the other leg. Okay, so if you need to, again, you can bring the hands to the back of the thighs or hands to the mat behind you. Point and flex that foot. And then do some ankle circles and reverse the direction. Okay, bring the foot down. Inhale this time, let's reach up towards the sky. And then curl in, giving yourself another hug here. All right, from here, you'll be happy to know we're gonna lower down onto our backs. Go ahead and roll back. Hug the knees into your chest. Squeeze them in tight and just rock and roll side to side. As your knees rock right, gaze left. And as your knees rock left, gaze right. Good, now release the feet down to the mat. Bring your arms alongside the body. On your inhale, press your hips up towards the sky. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, press up. Just a dynamic bridge. Exhale, lower. Really press into the feet. Squeeze the glutes as you press your hips towards the sky. And then soften them as you release back down. And then the next time you lift the hips, we'll pause here. You can roll the shoulders underneath the back, maybe interlace the hands. Keep pressing into the big toe mounds, squeezing the glutes and lifting a little higher. The chest rolls towards your chin. Now gently press the back of the head into the mat to open the front of the throat slightly. Take one more big breath in, lift the hips a little higher. And as you exhale, take the shoulders out from under you, very slowly lower down. One vertebra at a time. See if you can touch the low back to the mat before your tailbone gets there. Okay, now heel toe your feet mat width apart, cactus your arms, and we'll just windshield wiper the knees side to side. The next time the knees fall to the right, go ahead and stay there. I'll give you a couple of options here. So you could rest that right foot on top of the left knee, driving that left knee away from the hip, or you could bring that left knee to stack on the right knee. So one's a little bit more of a twist with the knee stacked. The first option gets a little more into that outer left hip. So you decide which one your body calls for. They're both a little bit of a twist, at least. All right, with your next inhale, we'll make our way back to center with the feet mat width apart, pausing for just a moment. And then you can drop the knees to the left. And again, you have the choice. You could maybe rest that left foot on top of the right knee, driving the right knee away from you for that outer right hip stretch and side body stretch with a gentle twist. Or you can take more of a twist by bringing that right knee to stack on top of the left. So again, your choice. Find your pose and then reconnect with your breath. Find that inner smile, Ananda, bliss. And then inhale, make your way back to center. And then hug your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. And as you exhale, lift your head up, curling into a little ball, maybe lifting your tailbone and your low back. And then inhale, release, and stretch out for Shavasana. Take the feet apart, turn the palms up towards the sky, roll the shoulder blades underneath the back. Relax the jaws. Maybe even wiggle them a little bit for a moment. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth, allowing everything to release and let go. Finding this place of deep relaxation. There's nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, but just simply lay here and breathe. And when thoughts pop into your mind, as they sometimes do, just acknowledge them, let them go, and return to your breath. With your next breath in, start to bring your awareness back into your body, finding some gentle movements. Maybe starting with the fingers and toes, or rocking your head gently side to side. And then reaching your arms up overhead. Let's bring the feet back to the mat, hip width apart with the knees bent. And just do some gentle windshield wipers here again. And then we'll roll to one side, taking another moment or two in the fetal position. And then keeping your eyes closed, slowly start to make your way back to seated. We'll meet with our hands at heart center and Anjali Mudra. Take one last opportunity, not your last opportunity, but for this practice, to think of something that makes you smile. Something that warms your heart. And then we'll close with the sound of Om. Let's take a deep breath in together. Thank you all for celebrating with me this morning. finding that inner smile and joy. So namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.